Hi guys. Today I'm going to be doing a video telling why the later generations lack resilience and, humbleness. And it's pretty easy to decipher though. Main reason why is because they don't remember a time like, Great Depression, where, basically every place was out of business, and, it was hard to find a job around that time. COVID, but like a Great Depression, that's even worse than COVID, to be honest. COVID was bad, don't get me wrong. Now, later generations, basically the generations that did not experience the Great Depression or the first two World Wars. So, yeah. Jot down reason? Yeah, they don't know what it's truly like being poor. They had a more easygoing life compared to the previous gens. So, like, it was harder for them to bounce back from certain situations than the previous gens because of that. What else? They didn't experience, like, the devastation of the first two World Wars, which, that shit was devastating. Yeah. So, yeah, boomers and up did not experience that. So that's why a lot of, like, the generations after Silent Gen, a lot of them tend to act like, less resilient and, more weak in character and morale. Because, they did not experience that kind of setting, that kind of format of, life. And trust me, that shit was devastating. Like, I don't know how they did it. And for people to say, oh, there was 9/11, there was the Great Recession, there was COVID, there was Cold War. Well, that's nothing compared to a Great Depression and two fucking World Wars. I'm just saying. That shit really fucks with your mind. And, yeah. Props to them for fighting through it, honestly. Because, like, in that era, it was a different era, It was about, like, duty and responsibility, That was a way different time. So, yeah, that too was a reason why the older generations tend to be way more resilient than the younger generations, or, the later generations. I wouldn't consider, like, some of those generations I mentioned young generations, because they're pretty old right now. They're, like, the oldest one's, like, in their 80s, so yeah. That's why. No, I think the oldest one, yeah. So basically what I'm saying is, the reason why later generations act the way they do is because they don't know what, they have experienced their own things, but none of them compare to, like, a Great Depression and two World Wars. So that's why a lot of the, later generations act more easily offended and shit. So yeah. And also, they tend to act less humble and resilient. So yeah, I basically was saying, the reasons why, later generations lack, strong character, basically, is because they were raised in a less, a less chaotic environment, so they weren't able to adapt to change as quickly as the previous generations did. Even though, like, that kind of environment, it would be fucking hard to adapt to the changes, because, like, the changes was, like, rapid. It was like that. Yeah. Especially around the early 20th century, like, stuff was changing, like, at a rapid rate. So, yeah. Cars were starting to become popular and more prevalent over horses. Radio was starting to become popular. Record players were starting to become popular. You no longer just needed the newspaper. You also had the radio, like I said. later on there was TV, but I mean, it didn't become popular till the 50s. So like the first young generation to really absorb the TV culture was probably the boomers. Or silent gen, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah. Also, a lot of them were raised in a better economy. That could be another reason why the later generations are more spoiled, I guess. Because, you know, the economy back, you know, in the days of like those previous gens, it wasn't really good. So yeah, they had to be grateful that they were even alive back then. Yeah. And that could be another reason, you know, the economy. Yeah. After Silent Gen, the economy got better, so yeah. Let's see. What else? Oof. I guess like yeah. The roles at the time was different as well, yeah. But I think that's not a crucial reason. A crucial reason would be like the thing I mentioned. The previous generations had to deal with a worse economy, entire bank collapse, and 2 world wars. So yeah, it's hard, you know, to do that, but they bounced back from it. And I don't think any generation after that would be able to bounce back from the shit they bounced back from, because that shit was hard for even them to bounce back from, you know. So yeah, that's sort of the gist of things, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, this video is basically me explaining why the slightly later generations lack resilience and humbleness and strong character and good morale. Anyways, peace.